So today we're going to be looking at chapter 11, which, lucky for us, is our last chapter of the year. So we're starting in 11.1, which is the fundamental counting principle. We will be using these principles to solve problems. So our first vocabulary word is a tree diagram. A tree diagram is exactly what it sounds like. It is a diagram using branches to show all possible combinations of an event. So example 1 says if you have 2 swimsuits, a red and a blue, and 3 towels, a white, yellow, and green, how many different combinations could you wear to the beach this summer? Use a tree diagram to solve. So the first thing I did was I just labeled red and blue to represent the 2 swimsuits that I have. So I'm going to first pick red or blue. And then once I've selected one of those swimsuits, I then need to pick my towel color. So stemming off of the red, I would have my white, yellow, and green. Same thing under the blue swimsuit. If you choose a blue swimsuit, you still have white, yellow, and green. And to figure out how many combinations you have, you just need to count up the number of branches. We have 1, 2, 3 combinations, 4, 5, 6 combinations. So there are 6 total possible combinations. The fundamental counting principle is something that is a shortcut to what we just did. It says that you can choose one item from a group of m items and a second item from a group of n items. The total number of 2 choice items is to multiply the m and the n together. So let's go back here. There were 2 options for swimsuits. There were 3 options for towels, so if we multiply those together, we get 6, which was our answer. Now this works if you have more than 2 events. So if you have 3 separate events, 4 separate events, you could multiply all of them together to get your total possible combination. So pretty simple multiplication. We like it. Example 2, Olive Garden has 15 entrees and 9 appetizers. How many ways can a person order a 2-course meal? We'll take the number of options of entrees, which is 15, times the number of options for appetizers, which is 9. Multiply them together. 135 different ways. If you have 3 shoes, 5 shirts, and 4 pairs of pants, how many different 3-choice options are possible? This one has 3 independent events, so we will multiply 3 times 5 times 4. Which will get me 20 times 3, so 60 different options. All right, now the ones on the rest of the notes get a little bit more complicated. And for some of these, you'll need to draw out little kind of boxes to help you. So a multiple choice test has 7 questions. So that means that there are 7 different events. There are 7 questions. So what I did was I put 7 little lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each multiple choice question has 4 possible answers, so like A, B, C, and D. So there are 4 choices for me to pick an answer for the first question. There are 4 choices for me to answer the second question. There are 4 choices for me to pick the third question. And you're seeing the pattern, 4, 4, 4. So it'll look like this. Then we use the fundamental counting principle, which is to multiply all of the options together. So it'd be 4 times 4 times 4, 7 times. We can also write that as 4 to the 7th, just to make it easier in our calculator. So in our calculator, we would just do 4, pressing the caret button to the 7th power, and we will get 16,384. Be careful on the mini quiz. The mini quiz will have an option for an answer that's 7 to the 4th instead of 4 to the 7th. So just make sure you actually draw out those little lines and think about how many different events there are and then how many options for each event. Just be careful you don't get tricked on the multiple choice. All right, now the next one is even harder. How many phone numbers are possible in the USA? There are rules. The first number of the area code, which is right here, and the first number of the exchange, which is right here, cannot be 0 or 1. So that means that these 2 digits could have a 2 in them, a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So if we count up how many options that is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there are 8 choices for me to pick a number that goes there. And there are 8 choices for me to pick what goes there. The remaining digits can be anything 0 through 9. Now be careful, a lot of students will put 9 in the rest of the blanks, but if we count these up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that means that all of these options are 10. And then we use our fundamental counting principle to multiply all the options together. So we're actually going to then multiply 8 times 10 times 10 times 8 times 10. These little lines are not subtraction, they're just like the number separators for a phone number. Remember, you can shortcut this. You don't have to write all this in your calculator. It would be 8 to the second power, because we have 2 8s. And then 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th power. And if we're using our calculator for that, 8 to the second, arrow over, times 10 to the, what did I say it was? 8th. And we'll get this. Nice big old number. Lots of phone numbers. Again, for these ones, they probably won't give you this little template. You'll want to draw that out when you're taking your mini quiz, so just be careful. And then our last one is the closure. If you'd like to try this one on your own, go ahead and pause the video. Otherwise, keep watching and I'll go over that. This one is a license plate. License plate, in this case, are made of 2 letters followed by 4 numbers. So the first thing I did was thought about 2 letters and 4 numbers. How many choices of a letter do we have? So how many letters are there in the alphabet? 26, good. So for my 2 letters, each of those I would have a 26 choices for each letter, because it doesn't say we're not allowed to repeat. So we would continue to use 26 for both of those. And then it says 4 numbers, and normally I'll tell you that the numbers are anything 0 through 9, which again would be 10 choices. So we have 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. And then you can either multiply all that together in your calculator, or we can shortcut it, 26 to the second power, and then 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4th power. When we punch that in our calculator, we should get 6,760,000 possible license plates. All right, please be sure to complete the homework assignment before taking the mini quiz. And if you have questions on any of the homework, please just shoot me an email and I will get back to you with a short video explaining that specific question. Hope you all are doing well and staying safe.